Alright, hello guys, this is Demon coming back for another round of Final Fantasy XIV. So we ended the last episode sort of abruptly. Oh, that's thunder. I thought that was like a sword slash. I could say, whoa, cool. I think I remember right, we finally arrived here in the Blue Kojin's territory, and we were going to talk to Least Nowze before I kill a crab. I think I see some ruby core over there. It's a bit far, but I can swim for it. Please don't drown. How quick my dearest brother was to boast of his firewood gathering techniques. If only he were here to gather these shells in my stead. Yeah, I didn't have to kill this giant crab. And... didn't I... wait a minute, I slayed that one. Kill this one? Why the hell didn't I get one for the other two? Unless it's... I've never had that before. Usually if you just kill one, you just automatically get it. Unless that's not the case and I'm wrong. It's actually kind of weird. Ah, but... that sucks your character gets hurt for doing that. Like, you land in water, I think you're fine. Somebody goes, well, Demon, if you fail from that high and you're near a waterfall and there's all these, like, pointy rocks at the bottom, I just ran by the damn door. There's all these nice jaggedy rocks at the bottom, you're probably going to break your knees on them and probably die. Yes. I probably would. What happens if I didn't? Can't think about that. Wow, Stormblood's right here at the door, Jesus. Stormblood, what up? Well, have you the carapace? Yes, I do, sir. There you go. Oh, my back. Splendid they are. The kami shall be most pleased, I am sure. I got it. I got the ruby core you wanted. And I had the sea snail shells. They are about the same size as my fist. I thought I realized how many you would have meant. Yours. We shall more than suffice for our purpose. Next, we shall make ready to present them to the sea and perform the ritual. Once it has been completed, you will be able to move freely through the steppes and find the Yasakani no Magatama. Curiosity, how large is the sacred jewel of yours? Unless it is too far to large to be carried by three of us, how are we supposed to even find it? The ruby sea is not exactly small. I should have realized we've been searching this whole time. The area you wish to explore is a small fraction of the ruby sea. Thoroughly have we scoured most of the seabed near and within our territory to no avail. All that remains is the region to the west. Shell-less Suno Sato can provide you with better guidance. That we should do well to visit them first. Shellless, you mean the Kojin aren't the only ones living under the sea? Of course not. The Rain have been here as long as I can remember. Shiashi, the Overseer, I believe, can tell you more when you arrive. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. We have yet to carry out the ritual. Can hardly wait. Right now, this blessing is supposed to keep us from drowning remains to be seen. Ready, my friends, to explore a world like any of you have ever known? Then let's go to the western part of the village, where the water twists and turns, and there should be complete our preparations for the ritual. Lisa's just like, yeah, I got to do fun stuff. I was just like, I don't drown. Me on the other hand, just like, yay, I already know everything. The professional. What a name. What a name. You have the water. Mummigan said to wait until he returns.
It is done. Your offerings have been given to the sea. The ritual can begin at last. Come and stand before me, my friends.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Listen to my words, and let all else wash away. Listen to my words, and feel them flow into your heart. At first a trickle, then a flood. O Kami of the fathomless waters of the fallen, the ascended, the flowing, and the becalmed, caretakers of the shallows and of the depths. Receive of us our meager offerings, cleanse these ones of earth and stone, and grant them your blessing, that they might drink deep of the divine. The ritual is complete, my friends. You may now breathe in the depths as you would upon land.
Strange. I don't feel any different. Are you sure it worked?
Reasonably. The blessing does have its limits, of course. While it will allow you to dwell in the depths, it will not help you traverse them.
I can swim well enough. How about you, Alize? Oh, like a fish, in contrast to my doggy-paddling brother. Somehow, the boy just isn't very buoyant.
Skilled or no, your bodies are ill-suited to the sea. Your cause demands alacrity, and you shall have it. But first, let us take to the water.
Okay. Ooh, cool environment. Road of water. Neat. I like new environments.
Incredible. I could swear I was breathing air.
Now I shall summon for you noble steeds of great strength.
This just weirds me out how this works. I get to ride a manta ray. Oh yeah. The little tail thing.
Wow, look at them. I bet they could take us all the way to the deepest depths of the sea. And so they may. After we've won over the Confederacy, rescued Kosetsu, and liberated your respective homelands.
Should you become parted from your steeds, return to me, and I shall call them again. Take care, my friends, and may the Kami speed you on your way.
We'll find that treasure in no time. Come on!
I like the fact that I get that. Owing to Sorbonne's blessing, you have now dive into deep water and stay submerged indefinitely. Underwater settlements like Tamamizu and Suno Sato can be accessed via circular portals. To leave deep water, you need only swim towards the surface. Conversely, to dive into deep water while swimming on the surface, press Control Spacebar. Should you become separated from your steed, speak with Sorbonne in Tamamizu to mount a striped ray. One thing it doesn't tell you is the fact that all your mounts have the ability to go underwater. So even if you do lose your mount, you can still use them. You and all your flying mounts have received the Kojin Triades or Blessing. You can now breathe underwater indefinitely. To dive, you must first be swimming in a body of water that allows diving. Next, you simply need to descend as you would with any flying mount. Stuff like that. I'm not gonna get into that. If you want to read it, you can read it yourself. But yeah, you get this little mana ray thing. It is 100% faster to use your mount. I'm not gonna lie. That's usually my only complaint with the swimming aspect in this game. The swimming's a little. Even if I use sprint, my character doesn't gain speed. It's not like when you're on land and stuff. Now it tells you can go talk to Sorbonne, but there's no point in talking to Sorbonne because you get access to your own flying mounts, which in turn means you don't need to go to him to get that mount, which is weird. Man, I had my doubts, but this is a blessing worthy of the name. One cannot help but wonder what magics the Kojin possess. This must be Sunosato, the Rain Village Sorbonne told us about. Right then, let's see if they can help us find the Kojin's missing jewel. Now for underwater emotes. If this is Sunosato, then so shy, the overseer should be around here somewhere. They say one of the locals will be willing to point us in this direction, though now that I look around, I get the distinct impression we are not welcome here. Also, I just thought of the funniest thing ever. Remember, Alphino doesn't know how to swim, but could you imagine if the Kojin gave him the ability to breathe underwater and he still panics all the damn time when he's swimming? Oh, that'd be hilarious. I'd love to see that. That'd be funny. Really? Somebody has a clan called D20 in it. Wow. What the hell is that? Church. Why the hell does this guy have a little... Is that a... What is that? I don't know what the hell that is. I can't think of the name of the animal. What the hell, bro? And it has a hat? Is it a weasel or a ferret? Ferret? So this is our man. Leave this place and never return. We have no need of wide-eyed wonders. Sorry, I didn't mean to stare. My name is Lise, and these are my friends, Hydaelyn and Eorzeea. We're looking for an overseer of Sunosato, or Shioshai, that you, isn't it? Ah, the Kojin of Blue sent you hither, did they? I know overseer, nor whatever would I claim to be one. I am High Priest of Shishu of the Violet Tides, Shiosei. I'm probably butchering that. So you are the man we are looking for. Great, we need your help. We're looking for a jewel called the Yasakani no... Stop, while we hear no more. We will suffer no outside troubles in our sanctuary, especially those of would-be treasure hunters. Chip chip. Quiet, Isobi, or there will be no dango for dinner. Oh god, you're gonna starve it? I cannot do naught to aid you. I to say again, leave this place and never return. At the very least, sir, you must condescend to tell us of your village and of why you are so loath to even show us even the most basic courtesy. Sunosato is our sanctuary under the benevolent leadership of the Ruby Princess, Sovereign of Shisu. We reign enjoy humble yet fulfilling lives, but it will not always so. Long ago, our forebears were driven from their ancestral lands beneath the waters. They sought refuge from the ravages of war, and here they flourished. All that we are, our culture, our traditions, was born of the sea, as was I. Though we have not engaged in our diplomacy, it has ever been the utmost caution. Isolation and independence are essential in preserving our way of life. It was when Doma fell 25 years past, the Ruby Princess, and her wisdom, decreed that we should take no part. As it was, so shall it be. Forever and ever apart. Forgive me, I understand how highly you value your old ways, and how you will suffer none to endanger it. May you rest assured that we have no desire to do so, and I would hope that we have given you no cause to assume otherwise. You have not, but this changes nothing. Regardless of your intentions, it is not my place to break with tradition. I must consider the wishes of all who call Sunosato home. For me to defy their will and permit outsiders to remain would be a gross betrayal of my responsibilities. Please do not ask this of me. Thank you for your time, sir. Alright, fun stuff. Everywhere we go, it's the same. Go away, we don't want any. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but some stupid part of me just can't help hoping for the best. So it continues, another village, another death year. Clearly, Garabani is not the only place with moles. Starting to wonder if this was all a huge mistake. Gozetsu could have known we would take this long. I hope he's still alive. I actually don't know. Let's just see. Cutscene play? Look at that thing I called it. I got ability, look at me, woo! Not really. Meanwhile, in the tavern of Asari.
I tire of this filthy tavern, and it's still filthier clientele.
'Tis scant reward for your treachery, aye. A painted woman of your rich experience deserves a better class of customer.
Oh, name-calling. Is that what we've been reduced to?
Orphan of the Nayuri. Widow of Sashihai. What joy it must have brought you to be revenged upon us all.
Not enough. Not nearly enough. My appetite for your agony is as an abyss. Bottomless. Insatiable. Before you die, you will cry and beg and prostrate yourself upon the earth. You will crawl on your belly through the muck and the piss and debase yourself for my amusement. All of you. But you think you are made of sterner stuff? Rather than have him beat you, mayhap I should have my oaf go and fetch your master's head. Oh, poor Lord Kayan. Kami rest his soul. Noble leader of a fallen nation. A fine puppet he made for the Viceroy. For a time. 25 years he was content to serve his masters as a dog. And then everyone had to rise up and get themselves killed. Tell me, how did it feel to fail him that day? To live with the disgrace of his death? Not that you were a stranger to living with disgrace, of course. In the what was it? 25 years since you were humiliated and tossed into an imperial jail? You had plenty of time to get used to it.
Did she just say the word jail? Because that doesn't look like a jail to me. That says G-A-O-L.
Oh yes, I heard the stories. About the samurai who would do anything to return to his master's side, even if it meant pledging his blade to his sworn enemy. They say he walked with death, that he slew 1,000 men in the Empire's name. Truly a tale for the poets.
I do not deny my sins, but I will not be reproached by the likes of you.
Oh, I mean not to reproach you, but to praise you. You're a survivor, samurai. Just like me. So, let us not dwell on the past, you and I, and instead give thought to the future. To wit, I would ask you again to help me resolve this vexing matter of Doma's missing heir. Living or dead, it makes no difference, really. But the Garleans are most insistent that we put this problem behind us. And I know you helped him flee. So tell me, what became of Lord Hien?
To my dismay, the details escape me at present. Mayhap your dog could jog my memory.
Get on with it, and mark me, brute. There is no limit to how far you can fall.
Of all the bloody stupid... Ah! When I get back to Eorzea, I'm gonna find that little shite, and I'm gonna make her pay.
Jesus. He's taking it like a champ. Wherever we go, saying go away, we don't want any. You think I'd be used to it by now, but some stupid part of me just can't help hoping for the best. We seem to have reached an impasse, and to make matters worse, every solution I can think of will only take more time. I don't suppose you have any ideas, do you, Hydaelyn? We could try talking Shoshi around, we could ask the villagers if they know anything. Stormblood sent us here, maybe we should ask him. We find some red Kojin and encourage them to talk. Yeah, I say go to the villagers. Right. We're the ones who came from above, yes? If we could have a moment of your time. My apologies, I did not mean to startle you. My name is Ihanami. Hanami, there we go. And this is my wife, Unagi. I don't know. We're wondering if you had news from Doma. If so, we would like very much to hear it. May I ask you why? You, our daughters, fought the rebellion. We have heard naught from her since. It would be too much to hope and know of her, but her name is Yugiri. Yeah, we know Yugiri. Yeah, she goes. She helped our dumbasses. Come be praised. She lives. She lives. We're looking for her too, actually. I'm sure she's alright. We had an idea she hailed from Siunosato. How did she come to serve Doma as a shinobi? It all began when she was a little girl. She and another trio crept out of the village, having grown curious about the outside world. To Doma they went, where they met a young boy, proud son of Yangxia. Tales of imperial oppression left a lasting impression on her. When she returned, she spoke passionately of the Doman's plight and urged us to take the boy in. My wife and I would not hear of it. Not the matter closed, but she never forgot his words. She became convinced that the Garleans would one day come for us, and it was in search of strength to defend us that she left, years later, to learn the ways of the shinobi. When the then Ruby Princess learned of this, she forbade Yugiri's return, lest she bring misfortune to us all. We protested the judgment there was naught we could do, and so our daughter, who wanted to keep her people safe. Surely there's something we could do for these people. They gave her aid and succor when no one other would. How about a host Mesa, but if it is the Yasakani no Magata you seek, I may be able to be some assistance to you. It was well known possession of unusual property. To the naked eye it is a jade, but when bathed in particular light it shimmers with a divine resplendence. I don't know what the hell that word was. Expedient. I have mined similar materials before. To find them, one must use these lamps. They cast an invisible light under which the sun sparkles. In the deepest depths, they are invaluable. There is a sunken ship to the east, though the currents may have spirited away her cargo. You should begin your search there. Thanks so much. We will do just that. I hope that you find that which you seek. I only wish there was something more we could do to assist you. Know that you will be in my prayers. And when you next see our daughter, pray tell her not a day goes by that her parents and her brothers do not think of her. We will, I promise. Alright, well, I vote head out this one. Ah, I'm drowning. Not really. And as I said before, as long as you have a mount that can fly, kapuya. He just acts like he's running in water, that's what makes it cool. Alright, I think we go this way if I remember right. Oh yes, we go this way. Oh yeah, you get stuff by those. Okay, I gotta try to remember where the hell this thing is too. That's the other bad thing. It's right here, self-same vessel which Sorbonne smooth, and if the gods are good, the Magatama is still safe. Ready your lamp, keep your eyes open on it, we are going to take this slowly. Moves too fast, we risk overlooking something. Is that a goddamn shark? Find a Yasakani no Magatama, you will need to search the area marked on your map. Use your lamp to pinpoint the precise location. Treasure and claim it. That's a goddamn shark, I don't like sharks. Leave this area to me. Wish I knew how far the light from these lands traveled. Now, if I remember correctly, somewhere over here, right? It's gone dark, but you are still unable to pinpoint its location. Or is it down further? It seems by flashlight if you get closer. When it sees by flash, you're getting closer. Damn it. Where the hell was this thing at last? It's not here, is it? A distance, so. Over here I was quite close. Is it on this? There, peeping out from beneath a fine layer of sand, you spy something shimmering. Where? There it is. Hey, I was right next to this. What the hell, man? I knew it was over here. I just couldn't remember where. I do remember the one time I was up here on the boat, and I got like maybe about here, and it kept saying there. I was like, oh, so it's on the boat, and like it would just sit there saying, not here, here, not here, here, maybe not, yes, no, yes, no, just no. I swear, look for a needle haystack will be quicker, because Zetsu will have died of old age by the time we finish. You haven't found anything, have you, Hydaelyn? No. This is the Yasakani no Magatama, exactly as Sorban described. Hey, it would seem that our fortunes finally changed for the better. So I'd like to return and thank Yuguri's parents for their assistance. Time is of the essence. I say we make for Tamamizu at once. Hold on to it for now, Hydaelyn. Once we arrive, present it to the Elder, and then we can finally learn how to deal with the Red Kojin. Also, if anybody is quite curious, you can still do your emotes underwater and do water flips. Look at my water flip. Water flip. Queer. Doesn't actually matter if you do the water flip or not. Actually, being in this suit and tie and then having my character sit like that looks like the most accurate thing in the world. I just look like I'm on business. I love being on business. Holy crap, you could do that? Turn these things on a dime. Just look. Boom. Boom. That's so broken. That shouldn't be a thing. If anybody's curious as to what I'm doing, it's just point your camera somewhere, then right click. Bam, the whole thing just turns on a dime. Yeah, where's the thing that's near the... There it is. I think that's the one we want. That's the one we originally came out of. Actually, can you make these things walk? Oh my god, you can. Neat. Yeah. How about beam it go? Oh my god, that ground is bright. Jesus, the colors. Filled all into the bargain, now it is their turn. Can you think it will be? What do you think it will be? Some sort of secret weapon or elaborate plan? I cannot wait to find out. It's good to see you again, my friends. If you brought the Magatama. Return it with the Asakani no Magatama, I trust. Yes, yes! Yes, there is no mistake. Well done, well done. And so about the Red Kojin, you said there'd be a way to make them retreat into their shells. Are you ready to tell us now? I did indeed, and yes, I am. But you see, divinity resides not only in material vessels, but in individuals. In laying claim to those most sacred treasures, you have demonstrated an affinity with the divine. True, with men and women such as you is to invite fortune into our homes. Gladly we will aid your cause. All is ready, Sorbonne, then give them what they require. Damn zipper. As a ceremonial knife of some sort. For this blade, that which is sealed shall open the treasure vault of the Kojin on the Isle of Zeki. This is where our most prized relics be, they of the red or the blue, kept safe. Fiercely do the Reds guard it, for its contents are more precious than their lives. For the vault to be attacked, their response will be necessity be immediate. Kojin would be summoned from realms around to defend their treasures. And were we to sow enough chaos, Reds in service to the Imperials would have no choice but to answer the call as well. Given the Confederacy the sign they've been waiting for, without the Kojin, the Imperials don't have nearly enough troops in the Sari to hold off the pirates. However, you must understand that the vault is holy ground, home to 1,000 kami. To intrude upon it without paying the proper respect is sacrilege we cannot condone. So, if we were to pay the proper respects, it would be alright? Great. How do we do that again? The Asakani no Magatama is one of the 3 conveyed treasures of the Kojin. The other 2 lie within the vault. We deliver the jewel unto the others and thereby make them whole. The kami may forgive your trespass and set delight in your mischief making. So if I understand you correctly, you want us to take the sacred jewel conveyed by your red brothers, deliver it to the treasure's vault. More or less, the Asakani no Magatama belongs on the Isle of Zeki. So long as it finds its way there, we are satisfied. Magatama has chosen you to bear its brothers. Had it not, you would never have found it, and we would not be having this conversation. Shall inform the Confederacy of your plans and bid them ready to act when the time is right. So what you're saying is if we didn't find it, we were screwed. The Isle of Zeki lies to the west of Suno Sato. Look for a cave beneath the waters. May fortune favor you in this and all other endeavors. This is going to work, I'm sure of it. I just hope Gizetsu and the others are alright. Right then, I am not only in the habit of sneaking heavily guarded treasure vaults, but if this is the only way to convince the Confederacy to act, then so be it. We should be prepared for a fight. The bigger the better. The kind where you'll wish you had 7 or most of your most battle-hardened friends at your side. Don't know about you two, but I'm ready as I'll ever be. Me too, let's do this. Right, no one left to say then? The Isle of Zeki. Right, let's go and find that cave. That is a neat looking aetherite. So different. I like the fact that they added all these different styles of stuff in this. It's really cool. How to swim off into oblivion. Look at the fishies. I wish my thing could go round and just go after him. He looked weird in this. I hate the fact that he can fly. That is a big ass shark. Hell no. Like I'm playing goddamn Crash Bandicoot, and if I get off my damn behemoth, the thing's just gonna come out and kill you. That's another big ass shark. Hell no. I don't trust anything. Nothing, bruh. Alright, so we are here. Hey everybody, we back. However, we have reached the conclusion of another episode, everybody. Fortunately, that'll be this episode. I I know we're underwater. I know I could keep running off ahead. But as always, I always have to end an episode at some point, and I figured, what the hell, this is a great time as any. We haven't been underwater before, and it's always fun to end these episodes on a bit of a fun little cliff. In this case, as we go through a cave and head up to the Red Kojin and deal with them at their vault. So with that, guys, all I have to say is this. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. When we come back, ladies and gents, more Final Fantasy XIV, and we're going to head off and talk to Alize and Lise and see if we can get to that vault and deal with stuff. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.